Okay, second question of the midterm exam is for surface modeling, which we have uh, we have to do that based on a drawing that has been provided. Here is the drawing for that. What other information is given? It said all the modeling should be used based on a surface modeling except thickening, which is the last step, and they need to do submission about that. So a SolidWorks file has been provided for that, which if we are opening that is essentially should contains the sketch that help you to model this. And so if we have the sketches has been opened, it seems like the first stage that we have to do that, essentially we have to create a surface around this. And you will see that in the sketch file, close this empty file, it's a three profiles, which is here and this line and the other line, that you have to create a surface that is going to transition between this profile. So switch to the surfaces tab. You can either use a boundary surface or you can use a lofted surface. Let's for example use a boundary surface, see what we can do with that. So in direction 1, I'm gonna select the profile that I have here and here, and then here. This would be 3 profile, but I wanted to use this curve as a guide curve. So I go to the direction 2 and I select this edge as this curve. So this is gonna create the edge that I want. Okay. So I have my sketch here. So this has been created. Now I have to cut the side portion of it based on this information that is given here, and it's better to create a sketch to make this cut from the side of it. So I'm gonna, for example, select the vertical plane, which front plane should be a good one, and I have to create, you see that there is a curve, a second curve which is tangent to this line. So I'm gonna create a 3-point arc starting from this point at this corner, and sounds like it is, yeah, it's like this, and let's create this curve. The second curve, I can use a tangent one, tangent from here, and go whatever that is gonna be, but it's gonna land here. I don't want it to hit here because it's gonna create a constraint that I don't want, so I've landed here. Other thing is I need, because I wanted to cut this portion, so it's better to add some line. So I'm gonna create here to this corner and then all the way to this point. So let's define some relationship, how it's gonna work. So see this line is gonna stick what it is. So this has, so the horizontal is 76.5. So this line vertical is 76.5. Maybe it's already defined there, but I think this is the entire length, and the point that we have attached it here is gonna be gonna change. So this might be the one that is changing. So if I bring this point, if I make this one vertical, it's gonna be defined in full. That's why it's black. Okay. So the radius of this arc, the first arc, is 183. So these two arcs are tangent each other, so it's defined. The radius of the second arc is 31. Maybe 31. And I know that this arc and this line should be tangent. So put control here, and make them tangent. What other line is horizontal is 75. So this would be 75, and that makes it fully defined. Now exit out of the sketch. We are going to cut the other portion of this surface and keep this surface. So while the sketch is selected, I would select trim surface and I would say I want to keep this area. You could select remove and select the other portion. So it's going to nicely cut this corner. So going back, we covered this. So we have to do these top cut. Oh, by the way, it says lofted boundary surface, lofted / boundary surface. So you could select either way, but boundary surface typically is more stable. So we're gonna cut this top cut of this cover, which the sketch is provided. So I'm gonna select this trim sketch. This is the one that I would like to. And again, I can use a trim surface and I say, again, keep selection and click out of it instead of remove all of and then picking 5 points. It's gonna cut it here. It's good. What else? So here, this surface is gonna be covered, but our model is being pulled. So we need to cover this end that we have here. And we can use different methods, but the field surface might be a good idea. I'm not sure if the planar surface can work. Let's try it. Probably cannot. So we need to add a line here in order to cover that. And one way is we can, for example, easily go to top plane, sketch, and essentially you can select this line and convert entity. Go back. And you have this line. Now, having this line and this shape would be enough to use a planar surface. So here, planar between these joints should be able to cover it, or no, because this is not an edge. So planar surface is not a good command. You have to use a field surface. So this edge and this boundary, yeah, that's better. Then it's being covered. So the next step for that, after this, is we need to apply a fillet. But before applying a variable fillet or any type of fillet, we have to merge these two surfaces together, which we are gonna need surfaces. So this one and this one, okay, and then the surface should be one surface body. Now I can apply a variable fillet, which is given that the first 2 points is 7 millimeter radius, and the top portion is 15 millimeter. So I'm gonna go to, while in the surface, I would select fillet, and instead of, there are multiple options. Instead of going to the constant, I'm gonna select the variable fillet, and it would be this edge. And it's given some areas here, but I would say this one is 7.5, which is the beginning. The end point is 7.5. So you see that they have some middle point is defined, and you will see that here it says here is R15. So we'll select this point and I say says this is a 17, or yeah, we'll select on it and make the radius 15. Okay, so 7.5, and this is 15. Hit OK, and then you have your variable fillet. We have to later thicken it, which essentially says thicken for 1 millimeter. So we're going to thicken the surface for 1 millimeter. Sorry, 1 millimeter. And this should be toward inside of that. So maybe select this one to go inside. This is not that much important. And voila, this is the final product that you have. All right, I hope you learned and how to do this modeling.